Hello everyone, welcome to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to learn how to create postmark emails from Elementor form submission. So I run a tech newsletter company and want to trigger transactional welcome emails for the form filled. So here my objective is, as soon as I receive a new form submission over the Elementor, I am going to send an email through the Postmark. So for building the connection between Elementor and Postmark, I am going to use a software that is Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to build this automation, then let me take you towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video I am going to show you how you can create postmark email from the Elementor form submission. So right before you on my screen you can see I have integrated these both applications, that is Elementor and the Postmark. So now as soon as a new form will be submitted over the Elementor, an email will be sent through the Postmark. So now I am going to show you how you can create this automation from scratch by using Pabbly Connect, but before that I am going to show you the real working demo of this automation. For that, let's move on to my Elementor form, and here you can see I have created this form and now I am going to fill these details and afterwards I am going to submit this form. So here you can see I have entered these details, that is name is testing user, email is testinguser@pabblytunes.com and the phone number. Now I am going to simply send this form and here you can see our form has been successfully submitted. So now let's move on to my Gmail account and check whether we are receiving an email over there or not, and here you can see I am successfully receiving the email in my Gmail account with the same name which I have entered over the form, that is testing user. So here you can see our automation is working properly. So you can also create automation like this for your business by just using Pabbly Connect. Now for accessing the Pabbly Connect, you just have to type its URL over the new tab, that is pabbly.com/connect. So here you can see I am going to enter this URL, and as you will enter the URL you will be getting the landing page of Pabbly, and here you can see we are getting two options, that is sign in and sign up free. So if you are a new user you can simply click over the sign up free, and if you sign up your account for free over the Pabbly Connect you get 100 free tasks, and afterwards we are getting the option for sign in. So if you already have an existing account on Pabbly Connect you can simply click over the sign in. But before moving on forward I am going to tell you about Pabbly community. So here you can see this is the page of Pabbly community where automation users, marketers and business owners gather to share their ideas, ask questions and get relevant updates regarding using the Pabbly applications. So you can also join Pabbly community now and grow your business with us. And if you wish to join the Pabbly community you can find link in the description given below. Now let's move on to the Pabbly Connect again, and here I am going to simply click over this sign in as I already have an account on Pabbly Connect. And as you finish your sign up you will be getting this all Pabbly apps page, and here you can see these are the products provided by Pabbly, and as we are going to integrate the applications, that is Elementors and Postmark, we will be using Pabbly Connect, which can integrate different applications and start automating your work. Now we just have to click over this access now for accessing Pabbly Connect, and we will be landed to the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect. And here you can see on the dashboard page I am getting some of the folders. So these are the folders I have created. So you can also create your own folder by just clicking on this create a new folder button and your folder will be created. And here I am going to create a workflow which is going to build our automation integrating both applications, that is Elementor form and Postmark. So for that we simply have to click over this create workflow button, and here we will be getting the option for selecting the workflow builder. And here we are getting two workflow builder, that is beta which is modern, faster and more flexible, and another workflow builder we are getting is classic, which will provide you a stable and familiar approach. So here I am going to use this newly launched workflow builder beta. So for that we simply have to click over the select button, and we will be getting a dialog box where you have to provide a name to your workflow. So here I am going to provide a name to my workflow. So here I am providing it the name create postmark email from Elementor form, and afterwards we are getting the option for selecting the folder. So here I am going to select my folder, that is connect folder, and afterwards we simply have to click over this create button, and here you can see we are getting this pop-up which says workflow created successfully, and here we are landed to the workflow page. And on this workflow page you can see we are getting the option for selecting the trigger. So now you might be thinking, what is this trigger? So trigger is basically the application which is going to initiate our workflow. So in this case I want to initiate my workflow as soon as a new form submission is received over the Elementor form, which is a plugin of WordPress. So here I am going to just click over this add trigger button, and here we are landed to the trigger setup page, and afterwards we are going to search for the Elementor over here. And And here you can see we are getting the option for Elementor, so let's select it. And afterwards it is asking me to select the app event, so I am going to select the app event as new form submission. And here we just have to click over this connect button for building the connection between Elementor and the Pabbly Connect. And here you can see we are getting this webhook URL, and here we are getting the steps for pasting the webhook URL to Elementor. But here I am going to show you the demo of how you can add the webhook URL to Elementor. So for that you just have to copy this URL, and afterwards we just have to move to WordPress, as Elementor is a plugin of WordPress. So here we are landed to the WordPress, and here on the sidebar you can see we are getting the option for pages. So from here, if you want to add a new page, you can simply click over this add page, and if you want to see all pages, you can simply click over this all pages. And here I have already created a page, so I will be just clicking over the all pages, and here we are landed to the pages, and here I am going to search for the newsletter. So here you can see as I have searched for the newsletter page, I am getting this page that is newsletter form, and now I am going to select this page that is newsletter form, and afterwards I am going to click over this edit with Elementor, and we will be landed to the form which I have created in the page newsletter form. So here you can see this is the form I have created, and in this form we are getting three fields, that is name, email and phone number. And on the content section we are getting the option for actions after submit, and here you have to add the action that is webhook from this plus sign which is already selected. So you just have to click over this plus sign and search for the webhooks. So here I have added this webhook action, and after that you can see we are getting the webhook. So you just have to select it, and you just have to paste the webhook URL which you have received from the Pabbly Connect here. So here you can see I have pasted my webhook URL, and our form is ready. Now we simply have to click over this publish button for publishing the form and saving this webhook URL. So here our webhook URL has been successfully added. So here you can see this is the form I have created, and now let's move on to the Pabbly Connect and check whether it's waiting for the webhook response or not. And here you can see it is waiting for the webhook response. Now for providing the webhook response we have to do a test submission. Now for doing the test submission we just have to submit our Elementor form. So now let's move on to the Elementor form and submit our test data. So now let's enter these details over here. So here you can see I have filled this form where I have provided the name, that is smart user, email is smartuser@pabblytudes.com, and the phone number. Now we just have to submit this form, and here you can see our form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on to the Pabbly Connect and check whether we are receiving the response over there or not. And here you can see we are successfully receiving the response, that is response A, with the same data which we have filled over the form. So here we are done with our trigger setup. Now we just have to set up our action. So for that you simply have to click over this add new action step button, and you will be landed to the action setup page. And here we have to search for the Postmark, as in this case we will be using the Postmark as our action app. So here you can see we are getting the Postmark, as we are going to send the email from the Postmark. And after that I am going to select my app event as send email, and now we just have to click over this connect button, and here we are landed to the Postmark connection page. And if you already have an existing connection you can use this, that is select existing connection. And if you want to build a new connection you can simply click over this add new connection button, and here you can see we are getting the connection name, and afterwards it is asking me to enter my server API token. So for getting the server API token you just have to follow this step which is given in the help desk. And now I am going to show you how you can add this server API token. So for that let's move on to my Postmark account, and here you can see we are getting two servers. So if you want to create your own server you can simply click over this create server button and create your own server, but I have already created it, so I will be selecting this, that is my first server, and here I am landed to my first server. And here you can see we are getting the option for API token, so let's select it, and here you can see I am getting my server API token. Now you just have to copy this server API token and paste over the Pabbly Connect. And if you wish to generate a new server API token you can simply click over this generate another token, and now I am going to copy this server API token and paste it over the Pabbly Connect. So here I am going to paste my server API token, and afterwards we simply have to click over the save button for saving the server API token, and here our connection has been successfully saved. And as I have built in my connection I am getting some of the fields. So here I am going to map my fields. Now you might be thinking what is this mapping? So mapping is basically inserting the data from the previous step. Mapping makes the field dynamic, means you don't have to enter your data again and again. The data will be replaced as the new responses will be arrived. So here I am going to enter my sender's email address. So here I have entered my email address, and afterwards we are going to map all these fields. So here it is asking me to enter my recipient's email address. So here I am going to map my recipient's email address from the response which I have received from the Elementor form. So now let's select it, and here you can see we are getting the option for email. So now let's map our email address over here, and now we are getting some of the fields such as CC, BCC. So if you want to add multiple recipients, you can add it over here, and afterwards we are getting the option for entering the subject. So here I am going to enter the subject of my email. So here you can see I have entered my subject, that is welcome to XYZ newsletter, and afterwards we are getting the option for entering the HTML body and the text body. So here I am going to enter my text body of the email. So here you can see this is the text body or the email which I am going to send to my user, and after hi I am going to map the name of my user. So for that let's select Elementor here, and from this response I am going to map the name, that is smart user. So here we are done with our text body, and afterwards we are getting the option for track opens, that is activate, and afterwards we are getting the option for track links which I have selected as none. Now we simply have to click over the save and send test request for sending the test data, and here you can see our response is positive, means we have successfully sent the Postmark email. Now let's move on to my Gmail account and check whether we are receiving an email over there or not. So now let's move on to my Gmail, and here you can see in my Gmail account I am successfully receiving the email which I have sent to my user named as smart user, and here you can see the same body text which I have entered. So this is the way an automation is created. So you can also create an automation like this by just using Pabbly Connect for enhancing your business. So start using Pabbly Connect now, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for learning more about Pabbly and creating many more amazing automations like this. And if you want to practice this workflow, you can find its link in the description given below. And thank you for watching this video. Not only this automation, you can build many more integrations like this by just using Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubt, you can mail us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can post it over the forums.pabbly.com. and if you have any pricing related issue, then you can visit the URL given over here. So start using Pabbly Connect for free now.